Ouais. Bonsoir Marco. Ça n'a pas été un Picasso, mais comment tu as trouvé le match en général? Qu'est-ce que tu retiens de ce match-là positivement, peut-être pour ton équipe?
Yeah, the match was easy to understand. The first half we had the energy to push offensively a lot, so we have both energy and how can I say, physicality to try to fight with all this long ball and all these dirty situation in the box. We considered some foul in our half, and also every throw-in was more or less a fight in the box. So we were ready to do that. We were good in second ball, and then we also had the quality to build up and to try to accelerate offensively. I think that we did a very good first half, even if with the mistake we conceded the first goal, because we didn't go to fight that header, and then we missed the second ball, and we leave a bit of space. And but we came back, and we also, I think that we deserved more the first half. And the second half we started well. I think that we were a bit more predictable, because they closed very well wide, and we didn't have the same courage and quality in the middle to try to go through in the middle. And then the more time, and we lost a bit of energy, and we didn't have the same, how can I say, physicality with the subs to go to fight with them, and we dropped a bit, and was kind of the game that we were playing very well from the back to try to attack, and then every time they had the ball we had to run until our box, because a long kick, and to try to keep the game balanced we have to fight with 2v2, 3v3 with Benteke, good players, and then they have good subs to come in with good energy. The game was very balanced. Usually when we are in this position we wanted to try to push, to try to win, but the sensation I had, it was like if we push a bit more, we were conceding a lot of space, and we had this chance at the end, and that's it. This was the game, very, very balanced, I think.
Thank you, Tristan. Hi, Marco. For a while now, DC hasn't been shy of the fact that their offense runs through Christian Benteke. The first game you guys played against them, George man-marked him. Now that he's not here, it felt more like a collective effort to handle his presence. How do you think the group did handling someone like Benteke?
Yeah, if I remember well, I think that we played there. It was a second coach of it with Lolo, and we played the game marking Benteke with two players, so Joel and also George were 2v1 for all the game against Benteke, but in the middle we had I remember Loturi playing right winger, maybe, that was doing like a double job, winger and midfielder. So we have an extra runner to try to balance this extra man against Benteke. Today it was Morales against him. Sometimes was Brendan giving the second half help, but the first half was Morales along with him, and Brendan was sliding on Pirani. I think they did a good job defensively. We conceded the goal in the second ball in the middle, lost with Vienna. Situation that can happen when you play like this for 45 minutes. At the same time, we did a very good job in the box, where they are very good. So they put the ball in the box for all the game. But I think that we mixed a bit of quality in the last third, a bit of, for example, we didn't attack properly the second post. We had so many chances there, and at the last pass, and but the game was very balanced. We were trying to play with the ball, to try to go there step by step, and they were direct because they have different quality.
Salut Marco, dans les 15 dernières minutes, tu sais 1-1, t'es à la maison, t'es devant tes partisans, puis on a l'impression quand on regarde les stats avancées que c'est DC qui avait le contrôle du match dans les 15 dernières minutes. Est-ce que c'était une stratégie pour garder le match nul? Est-ce que tu aurais aimé ça les voir plus poussés, mais il manquait d'énergie? Tu sais, comment t'expliques les 15 dernières minutes où c'est 1-1 à la maison, puis on pousse pas pour aller chercher la victoire?
Yeah, I agree with you. We didn't push the first 15 minutes, and it's the second time already that happened. I don't know why. Maybe they want. We have two players new in the middle on the field, and especially a keeper and a centre back. That for us is very important not to build up. And the game at the beginning they were pressing us high, so we needed a bit of time to find the proper space, and then we had the Clark on the left that usually is on the middle, And yeah, probably we didn't find the right space to go on ball, and we suffered a bit, but they didn't create much. Probably the sensation, yes, was there. But I think that after we did very well first half. So the game is balanced. We cannot dominate the game, but probably, yes, we could do a bit more at the beginning. I agree.
Marco, j'aimerais ça te parler de Victor Lotouri. Au début de la saison, on pensait que c'était un joueur de profondeur ou de rotation. Et plus que la saison avance, c'est un joueur important. Est-ce que, d'après toi, c'est le joueur qui s'est le plus amélioré, qui a le plus progressé avec ton équipe cette saison?
Je pense que nous avons beaucoup de joueurs qui améliorent. Je pense que Victor, c'est un joueur de ce groupe. Mais le plus meilleur de Victor, c'est la personnalité, le caractère, la possibilité d'ajouter tous les autres joueurs. Maintenant, il peut construire l'action et aussi ajouter les défenseurs. Je pense que oui, il a amélioré, aussi autres joueurs, je pense. Mais il est vraiment important pour nous maintenant.
Marco, tu dis que ton équipe a peut-être manqué d'énergie, de physicalité en fin de rencontre. Tu as une équipe qui est jeune, vous avez eu une semaine pour préparer le match. Comment est-ce que tu expliques qu'il manquait d'énergie à la fin?
No, but for me, it was not energy like usual that we didn't have subs to do, to arrive with really the real energy. It was more that we arrived at the moment where the game was, I was thinking, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure about that we try to do some subs to have more quality through the line, to have the last pass, to have the last action important like Olje, to have tried to have a 1v1 on the left with Alex. But at the same time, when we had a bit more, try to be unpredictable on the field, because also Bryce was tired, Sincho was tired, no? At the same time, if we had some unpredictability of quality, we lose physicality, because Platila or Enoch coming in on the field were really dominating physically in the middle. And I think that Matty, our new player from Toronto, Longstaff, did a very good job in this term, so he gave us help, okay? But at the same time, he's new, so he trained with us one training, so he doesn't know exactly how to move on the field. He did very well. Also, the last pass with Prince was amazing, but was something that he created by himself. So I was trying to balance the physicality, because we need to respect them in this term, because Pirani 2-3 times he counter-attack very well. If you are not able to do it, it's dangerous, no? So at the end it became more or less a flat game. Usually we risk a bit more. We are more energy in this sense. So not only cramps or whatever that it happened in the past.
How do you describe the match of Efrain Morales and Thomas Guillier?
No, I'm very happy about their performance in the last game. They gave us something that we didn't have, this personality, but at the same time is more or less the same discussion that they did. So we gain something, and on the other hand we lose something, because they are new player, no? And the way we were building from the back a month ago, or maybe with Joel, with Jalen and Neil, and with Brendan or with George, so is different than now, because we train for 3 months. So it's normal when you have a new keeper, and sometimes he is kicking long when he has to pass, or he pass when he has to kick long, but it's a normal process, how you can learn in 1 week, everything. So I think that we were missing that, because then second half, Washington were just waiting us in the middle, and we were a bit too predictable. So this is why I try to have some player on the field more unpredictable, but at the same time we lost energy. So every time going back in the box was risky. It was a game very difficult to manage, I think.
Marco, in the second half, you seemingly switched Caden, Dante, and Hinadi their spots from when they started to play in the first half. What was the discussion at halftime about switching it up, and how do you think those switches happened?
Yeah, we prepared that, but I switched after 30 minutes. So also at the end of the first half, they switched, and when we scored, they were on the other side. And I think that is something that we can do. We know that Dante can perform 100% on the right because it's much more unpredictable. But at the same time, we know that Caden in the middle is really more effective on the game. He gained the ball for the goal. No, so and we gain something, we lose something in both sides because having both players, Dante and Jan on the right, it means that somebody has to stay in the other side, especially against a team like Washington that likes to attack with the fullback. So we prepared this, and we did. I think they did well both, and then they dropped a bit with their energy, and maybe Kaden had another 15 minutes to go. Maybe that I did a mistake. Maybe it could help 10-15 minutes more, but then when you have 5 subs, you cannot do one sub by one. So we need to do a double subs sometime because at the end. But yes, the purpose is just that they can do it. So we gain something and we lose something in both situations, I think. I don't know if I answered you.
Merci, Marco.
Thank you.
Questions for Luca Petrasso?
Hi, Luca. Marco just told us it was like a balanced game, like a chess match. Do you agree with him? What's your assessment of the game in general?
I think I agree with him. I think we knew coming into the game, the way DC wants to play is very just launching the ball up to Benteke and kind of fighting over second balls, and that's kind of the way they scored on us. But obviously, certain games like this is not very pretty to play, and we had spells of having the ball a lot, but I think they did a good job of sitting back low and kind of covering those spaces for us to play and kind of frustrating us. But I think overall, I think it was back and forth. Kind of reminded me a little bit of a basketball game, just transition up and down. But that's kind of, I definitely agree with them. So.
Thanks, Tristan. Hi, Luca. You had Dante on your side for a bit. You had Kate on your side. You had Alex on your side. A lot of switching, but you seem to kind of blend well with everybody. How much do you think that variety has maybe helped you integrate into the team and, making that left side your own?
I think we kind of go back and forth with either having me out wide by myself, kind of seen previous games, especially in the Leagues Cup, where I was more just on my own on the left and having Caden come inside. Today we had started off with Caden on the left and me playing kind of inside, kind of how Bugash plays on the right side where he's always inverted. I think I'm quite comfortable playing an inverted role and obviously quite comfortable on the outside, kind of going up and down. That's kind of my style. So, with anybody that is playing on the left side, with Dante, I know he likes to go 1v1, so it's kind of give him the ball and trying to make those runs in between. And Caden or Alex who come in, like to come inside on the right foot, and for me, try to make overlaps or trying to make those runs between the right back and the center back to create space for them. And any way where I can get involved into the attack to help my teammates, kind of how the first goal went for us. So, definitely comfortable on that left side for sure. Hello.
There are some draws that feels like wins, and there are some draws that feels like losses. You only have one win at home in, I think, 13 games. Is it a draw that feels like a loss today, or?
Of course. I think these draws at home definitely don't feel like wins. That kind of maybe puts us a little bit in the right direction. That we're kind of staying consistent in the way that we're playing and the energy that we bring since after the Leagues Cup. But I think we want to turn these draws into wins, especially at home. This is a place where we want to dominate and where teams should come here and they should feel scared to play against us. And usually at home, you obviously have a more advantage. And then we kind of turn that and make it our own. Where at home, we should be dominating, especially in these last couple of games towards the season, where we know we have a lot of home stretch games. So hopefully that we can turn into more wins.
Luca, I have a question. Are you more proud of your goal tonight or your pass on Prince's goal was called offside?
It's funny, the pass was something that actually Max, assistant coach, told me before the game. He said, always look back post because it's going to be open. And it's funny because Prince gave me the pass and I thought I had the assist for him too, so it would have worked out for both of us working for each other. But that would have been nice to close out the game. But I think for my goal, I think the way that we play and the way that we train is high press, and you can see on the field we're man v man and we're high pressing. So the way the goal comes is kind of putting them under pressure for them to turn the ball over. And I saw Prince was going towards the goal, and the only thing that I could do was try and run past him and hopefully pass it to me or he shoots. And usually with a striker in the form that he's in, he probably would have shot, but he saw me. So it's kind of been a good connection. I think even in my first goal against Columbus, he's the one that passed it to me as well. So definitely kind of reading off him, and he's reading off me.
Just curious, Luca, as crazy as it sounds, do you feel that the fact that the week was less busy, it stopped your rhythm a little bit as a group?
Yeah. I think we kind of talked about that too, especially the past maybe 3-4 weeks where we were playing games like every 3-4 days. And at the same time, I don't mind that because you kind of get into the rhythm of like, say things don't go your way in a game or you don't play well, you have 2-3 days to bounce back and kind of move on from the next game. So, but also at the same time, you have a week to kind of prepare yourself for every opponent. And we actually get 5 days of actually training and kind of taking care of your body properly and recovering well and going through the 5-day process towards a game. So at the same time, it's good, especially when it's coming towards the end of the season. Played a lot of minutes, so to try and take care of myself and especially a lot of the guys on the team to stay fit for the rest of the year, which is most important.
Hi. From the outside, it seemed like maybe there was a lack of urgency at the end of the match. You were not maybe putting as many balls in the box or whatever. Mm-hmm. But on the pitch, how did you see that end of the match? Was it just making sure you don't get caught up on the counterattack, or?
No, I agree with you. I think if you've seen previous, we talked about in the locker room previous in our games where, especially against the Mexican sides, where we were risking it, especially in the second half, the last 15-20 minutes. We were risking maybe a final pass, deciding when to shoot or cross. But I think I felt a little bit more in the second half where we go in 1-1, obviously at halftime, and I think maybe not caught into maybe conceding another goal and then chasing the game and then making us, I think when we concede a goal, we know that we have to go and get another goal right away. But I think this one we're 1-1, maybe a couple of us were a bit tired and kind of indecisive of what we wanted to do. But I think in those moments we just have to be brave, and especially at home and in the second half where it's 1-1, just go for it and not be too worried about maybe conceding or catching on the counterattack. And just playing the way we want to play, and playing fearless is the way Marco wants us to play on the ball, because we know we have a lot of talent and a lot of quality and a lot of young players with energy to take advantage of those games 1-1 at home and just go for it and try and create as many chances as possible, and hopefully one of them goes in, right? So I think that's the way the second half kind of went.
Thank you, Luca.
Thank you, guys.
Questions for Matty Longstaff? Maximo?
Hi, Matty. Welcome in Montreal. Describe to me the last few days and your 30 minutes, your first 30 minutes here in the CF Montreal uniform.
Yeah, obviously it's been a quick turnaround. I found out about 7 o'clock in the morning on Thursday that obviously I was getting traded. So from there just kind of went into Toronto and spoke with obviously the GM there and kind of said goodbye to the lads and the staff. Obviously we were quite a tight-knit group, so it's obviously sad when you leave one place, but yeah, obviously it's a bit strange coming from a rival, but no, obviously I was delighted to get here. Obviously met the lads and the manager, and like the way that we trained for a couple of days, it was really good. We got the ideas and stuff, and then obviously tonight it was good to get out and kind of play for Montreal. It's weird saying that. If a week ago we said I was saying that, it'd be weird, but no, it was really good to get out there. Obviously disappointed not to win the game, but for myself personally, it was really good to get some minutes for Montreal.
Thanks, Tristan. Hi, Matty. Welcome to Montreal. Could you just describe to us maybe what the instructions from the coaching staff were for your substitute appearance, and how does playing in the Montreal midfield compare to your experience in the Toronto midfield, given that that's the only real MLS midfield you've played in?
No, I think obviously the instruction is the way the team play, obviously, in structure and build up and defensively. Obviously we have our style here, so I just tried to get on the ball and progress the ball as much as I could, and obviously defensively we're drawing the game at home and we want to win games, so it was trying to be aggressive and get up against the ball, and then in terms of The midfield, yeah, it's pretty similar. Both teams have really good midfielders. We've got really good midfielders here. Toronto have the same. So, yeah, I'm lucky to get to play with. Obviously, I played with the ones in Toronto and really enjoyed it. And the last 3 days here, I've really enjoyed playing with the midfielders here. And hopefully, the longer we play together, the better the connection becomes and the performances get better.
That's for sure.
Hi, Matty. Nice looking in blue.
Thank you.
There's a special relation between Toronto and Montreal, between the fans from Toronto and fans from Montreal. Will you be able to hate TFC after all the time passed there?
Obviously, it's, as I said before, it's obviously a bit weird because for the last year and a half, I had the media and obviously the fans in Toronto telling me to hate Montreal. And then obviously now signing here, I'll get told to hate Toronto. But I think for me personally, I just concentrate on myself. I think, what I found in football, even playing back home in England, is you've just got to concentrate on yourself. And a team, sometimes you, obviously, as you said, you try and hate Toronto or hate Montreal. But no, for me, it's about trying to perform for Montreal here. I'm a Montreal player now. And yeah, I want to get back to winning ways with the club. Obviously, I had a really good time in Toronto and I have nothing bad to say there, but ultimately I'm a Montreal player now and I want to try and have success here and win things. So, yeah, that's my main focus here.
Hi, Matty. Do you want to talk about the pass that you gave to Prince late in the game? I guess you had already a connection with Prince.
Yeah, obviously I played with Prince last year, so I know the runs he makes. I found him a couple of times last year and I just found myself in a nice pocket and managed to turn and slide him in. And yeah, to be fair, I'm not sure what quite happened. Like the ball seems to run off his foot a little bit, but I'm sure as we go forward, I'll be able to give him a few more chances and he's going to score them. Obviously, he's been flying here this year, so I think you can let him off at one because he's been scoring so much.
Matty, Newcastle has one of the biggest derbies in England with Sunderland. Going from that and your experience in that city and that footballing culture, how does Montreal-Toronto, which is the oldest active rivalry in North America, compare to, the intensity of rivalries in Europe? And maybe your experience from the other side, from Toronto, how do you appreciate this rivalry?
Yeah, obviously I grew up back home in the northeast where football is what everyone lives and breathes. You work Monday to Friday to go to the stadium on a Saturday. The fans pay all the money to go and that's what they live for. And yeah, I managed to go to one a couple of years ago when I was injured and my brother played against Sunderland and the atmosphere is electric. Obviously coming over here you can feel the hatred. I remember at Toronto we trained before my first derby at home for Toronto and we had the ultras outside the training ground. We went over and they gave us a speech about how much it meant to the club to win. And obviously you can feel it here when you come here. It's a hostile place with the fans. So yeah, obviously I know how big it is. Any derby is. I think as a player, sometimes you have to try and obviously you understand the emotions, but sometimes you have to come away from it to perform at the best. Because sometimes you see in derbies when there's too much emotion involved, maybe you overthink stuff and maybe you rush into certain stuff. So no, obviously I know how big it is, and I'm sure playing for Montreal, there's nothing I'd love more than obviously to win. Now this is my club, but no, obviously, as I said, I've been pretty successful in the derbies in Toronto. Obviously, I won the ones I played in there. Now I'm hoping I'm at Montreal. We can win the derby for Montreal.
What have you first noticed about the playing style here in Montreal and the fact that there's a lot of young players that try to develop here and maybe go to Europe?
No, yeah, obviously you can see that in training. It's maybe a little bit different to Toronto where you have a few older players and a lot of leaders. Obviously here in Montreal it's a younger group, but there's still leaders within that. And yeah, it's such a talented group. Training for the last 2 days, you see the qualities they have going forward. And yeah, as I said, I'm looking forward to obviously train a bit more. Obviously, I've only been here 3 days, so it's tough to fully say. But no, we have a really good squad here, and yeah, I'm sure as time goes on, I'll be able to tell you more. But no, it looks like we have some really talented players, so I'm looking forward to playing with them.
Thank you, Matty.
No worries. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.